Hey guys, what's up? Bioshock's here today to give a very huge review on the brand new Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. But before I start, make sure to like the video and also make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And also make sure to hit the notification bell to keep up to date the videos that I make and get notifications when I upload new videos every day. So let's get into this review. I went to see this movie just a few days ago, so I'm a bit behind everybody else when it comes to reviewing the movie, but nonetheless, I'm going to do it here now. Let's get into the technicalities of this movie first when it comes to animation and storytelling. The animation throughout most of the movie is fantastic and beautiful. I'm very biased when it comes to hand-drawn animation over the computer-generated animation personally, but from everyone else I've heard, they also agree with me. I'm going to complain about the minor CGI spots here and there, but that's for later on in the video. Storytelling, not the best, but also not the worst. Once again, I'll dive into that later on in the video, so for now, bear with me. Now I want to go through this movie scene by scene, and what I mean by that is I want to do the beginning, middle, and ending separately when it comes to giving my thoughts to the movie. That way this review isn't a giant mess. So first, let's get into the beginning, or the prologue of the film, which is basically rewinding back time to when Frieza becomes the ruler of the Saiyans. In the film, we see King Cold was the ruler of the Saiyans before Frieza took over the mantle, which I know a lot of people for years always theorized, but from what we see, it seems that King Cold is in a sense retiring, and at the same time telling the Saiyans that Frieza is much more evil, merciless, and sadistic than him, which is very prevalent from when we first meet King Cold in Dragon Ball Z in the beginning of the Android arc. We also get to see old faces like Ginyu, the Ginyu Force, Doria, Zarbon, and others, which is nice to see them again, being such a long time since we first last seen them. Now, Frieza's color palette, it's quite interesting because instead of the traditional pink, white, and purple combo that we're used to, when it comes to the first three forms, this time it's a mixture of just mainly pink. At first I thought this was just a design for his younger version, but as it shows, when he's blown up the planet Vegeta, he still remains the same. So in other words, it's just a complete rework of his model done by Kazuo Ogura, if I pronounced that wrong, which in itself, I really have no complaint about, because the art of this movie is just beyond gorgeous. Frieza gifting the Scouters the Saiyans was also a somewhat of an interesting twist, because I think a lot of fans have always thought in their own headcanon that the Saiyans acquired those through defeating the Sufurians, or the Tuffles, and using their technology. That's like, I think everyone always thought that, but when Frieza demonstrates how to use the Scouters, it's beyond badass and epic. Just seeing him quietly take out the snipers that were secretly targeting onto him with such succession and ease, and I gotta give bonus points for that. We're then introduced to the new baby Broly, and we see King Vegeta get very upset about him having possible higher potential than his own son, as they also play a cheap yet great nod to the original Broly movies, but by saying that he may be the legendary Super Saiyan. Now let's talk about Bardock. I don't like this Bardock. I miss my awesome badass Bardock that was a savage and just a regular guy. A generic ruthless Saiyan that didn't care about his sons or anything until the very last moments up until his death. This Bardock is too nice and loving towards his family and just adds more parallels into the Goku and Superman backstory that there was before. I did, however, enjoy seeing Gine in actual animation, so that was a plus, but not enough to make up for the previously mentioned. So then King Vegeta sends Broly away to an abandoned planet in fear that Broly may one day be unable to control his own power. I do gotta say, I enjoyed the idea of King Vegeta attempting to kill Broly in the first much more, because it adds more fuel to the fire of Paragus and Broly wanting revenge, but nonetheless, not really a major complaint. I don't understand, though, how Broly is a lower class citizen, or how it's surprising he is strong to begin with, since it is stated that Paragus is actually the lieutenant of the Saiyan military. One would think it to be natural for his offspring to possess such a high potential, though I understand why King Vegeta would be angry, that it rivals, if not shadows, his own sons. We then get Paragus going off to get Broly off planet Vampa with a pilot named Beats, and they end up being abandoned on the planet as well once their ships becomes unrepairable. I will admit it was brutal seeing Paragus kill Beats in order to ration the food between himself and Broly. I will say that. Skip forward present day, and we have Frieza's minions finding Broly and Paragus on Vampa, and they bring them aboard to serve Frieza and carry out their wishes of revenge on King Vegeta by going to kill Vegeta himself, his son. It's here that we get Broly's minuscule character development, because, let's be honest, everything past this is none to be found from him. He talks about how his father has trained with him day in and day out, and how he took the ear of his first friend, which was the green monster on planet Vampa in the beginning of the film, just for playing around with him. They were just playing. They were friends. We then find out the ear is what is on Broly's waist. That furry thing around his waist, that monster's ear. Broly in this revision is more loving and caring towards his father and doesn't like Chile talking bad about him or Lemo, and says that they shouldn't speak ill of him. I actually, for the most part, like this Broly more than the original, just off these scenes alone, because it flushes him out into a more sympathetic and redeemable role. I will say that I was very tore up and emotionally disturbed at the scene when Paragus pulls out his remote, and then Broly seeing the device and going into a traumatic, scared motion. That could be comparable to a person that has PTSD. Very well done and pulled off very successfully. The running gag in this movie is for the Dragon Balls between Frieza and Bulma, while both parties are going after the last one after Frieza's minions steal from them. They steal it from Bulma's lab, but the gag itself is the wishes Frieza and Bulma both want. Bulma wants to be 5 years younger, where Frieza wants to be 5 centimeters taller in his final form. This is a theme of one's self-esteem of their physical appearance, which I will admit I found entertaining and funny. Frieza then lands on Earth with Goku and Vegeta waiting on him. They are then surprised to see Paragus and Broly alongside Frieza, and from here on, the fight ensues, starting with Vegeta and Broly. This fight was very enjoyable and entertaining, just for how short of a fight it was. It was also the debut of Super Saiyan God Vegeta in the anime itself. We've seen the manga, but not the anime. Vegeta in base form, he's able to punk Broly easily until Broly powers up into his wrathful state, in which he's able to harness the power of the Ozaru, or Great Ape, into his human form. So that was cool. This could be looked at in two ways. One, it's a new form that was thought of by Toriyama. I'm not giving him too much credit. It's Toriyama. Or two, it's a vague homage to Super Saiyan 4 itself. I'm going to go with that one because I just can't see Toriyama being that creative and making new designs. For me personally, I think it's an homage to Super Saiyan 4. Nonetheless, Broly's able to compete with Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God Vegeta. Goku then jumps in and takes a shot at Broly as well. After a few minutes, Goku powers up Super Saiyan God and uses a brand new technique called the God Mind, or it's what people were calling it. I don't know if it's officially called that. It was really nice to see. He then tries to talk Broly down while he has him in the God Mind, but then Broly powers up and reverses the move on Goku, which was awesome. While all this is going on, Paragus finds out the controller to Broly's gone, thanks to Sheila stealing it and destroying it for herself on the ship. Goku then powers up to Super Saiyan Blue and takes over the battle for a little amount of time. Frieza gets worried and remembers how Goku became a Super Saiyan, and so kills Paragus himself, and tells Broly a stray blast caught him in order to make him transform as well. Now the comedy from Frieza when he starts clearing his throat to begin his act towards Broly like he's concerned for his father is absolutely hilarious. And well done, and I was dying laughing at the scene. I'm trying not to laugh thinking about it right now. Broly then, in one of the most epic transformation scenes in the entire movie, turns into his new legendary Super Saiyan form. That's what I'm going to call it. I know it's not legendary Super Saiyan, but I'm going to call it that. And takes over the fight against Goku. Now, I did very much enjoy this scene myself, but once again, I will say I enjoyed the original Broly transformation in the first movie a tad bit more, especially in the American version with Pantera's Fives playing over the moment. But nonetheless, epic. Vegeta then has to join to help Goku, to which both are still unable to defeat Broly because
My power is maximum.
Goku and Vegeta then use the instantaneous movement to get to Piccolo, leaving Frieza to fight Broly for what the movie deems as 1 hour because Goku and Vegeta are trying to learn the fusion names with Piccolo and they keep screwing it up. At this part is when I feel a lot was rushed considering how quickly 30 minutes went by each time they fail. It seems like nothing has changed between the fight with Broly and Frieza. Broly then starts attacking Whis, which is Whis just casually dodging Broly until Gogeta makes it. Then Gogeta makes his canon debut into the series and shows up in front of Whis. From here on out, the fight is so well done and magnificent that not much is said between the two. Gogeta goes through the Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue transformations, and my favorite part in the fight that I fanboyed over is when we get to see the Stardust Breaker. Fucking yes, so good. Though the explosion was kind of a letdown because the original one was so cooler, how it could enter the body and explode the enemy from the inside, but it was still amazing to see regardless. Chilai then saves Broly at the last minute when Gogeta's about to kill him by using the Dragon Balls to wish Broly back to planet Vampa, just before he's hit with a Kamehameha that's obviously had intent to kill. We then end the movie with Goku visiting Broly, Cheelai and Limo bringing them food and saying that he wants to spar with Broly and teach him some things, possibly how to control his power, and ends with Cheelai asking his name, to which Goku turns and says Goku, but he tells Broly he can call him Kakarot, which in itself sent chills down my neck, and my back, and my pussy and my crack. Okay, the movie itself was very enjoyable with minor complaints. Like I said before, I don't like the CGI character models in the middle of the Goku and Broly fight, but the rest is fantastic. The comedy was surprisingly great, which got a lot of laughs out of myself and everyone else in the theater. Frieza taking on a somewhat Joker type of role in the story is something I can actually get behind and enjoy. Vegeta having a moment to shine and put the beat down on Broly early was nice and very good to see instead of the old-fashioned Vegeta gets a beat down trope until Goku arrives. And Gogeta finally making his canon debut was amazing and epic, especially when he actually finishes the fight and wins without defusing. This is the first time in Dragon Ball canon where a fusion character actually wins without defusing, and it was worth it. Though I will miss the savage and destructive old Broly, I'm more than willing to accept the new canon one, for he has better development, and also thank God they got rid of the baby Goku crying crap.
But that's really dumb. But he's so cool! But that's so dumb!
So overall, I have to give Dragon Ball Super Broly the rating of an A. It's very enjoyable and has entertaining top tier fights and animation, but the fast pace of the beginning to the middle, as well as the fusion dance fails, are what dulls it down the score for me. But other than that, the movie was fantastic and probably the best and my personal favorite Dragon Ball movie so far. So that's it for me. Let me know what you thought of the movie in the comments below, and I hope you enjoyed. Peace.
Broly is not a monster. Broly is the devil. Oh my God, he's so goddamn